David Seaman's 38th birthday brings a reunion with an old adversary. Andreas Müller, whose penalty sent England out of Euro '96, is back in town. The Arsenal team in front of Seaman is weakened by the absence of the injured Campbell and Adams, and Cole, who's suspended. So Grimondie takes his place in a makeshift back four, and Van Bronckhorst plays in his international position of left back. Schalke's injury problems are more severe than Arsenal's. The withdrawals of Nemetz, Sand and Wilmots left them short on the left side, but Jörg Burma ruled out yesterday with a thigh injury, flew in today, claimed to be fit, and he starts against all expectations. Arsenal have never lost a Champions League game at Highbury, but their last European defeat here was at the hands of German opposition Borussia Mönchengladbach in the UEFA Cup 5 years ago. Schalke, normally the royal blues, today in their changed colours. Arsenal, I need hardly tell you, playing from the right. And alongside me, high in the west stand here at Highbury, is Jim Beglin. And all the talk prior to this game, Jim, has been of injuries. Arsenal claim that they're hard done by, but Schalke are even worse off.
Well, they are. I mean, amazing bravado from their players to turn out. Valdok looks very serious. I've had a broken nose myself in the past. That's not going to be easy for him to deal with. And Bulna, I think he's going to be a little better, John Mills. I was watching him warming up and he was blasting shots at goal, so the left thigh doesn't seem to be too problematical.
Here is the break from Umpenza, which is an early shot across the bows of Arsenal.
Well, it should have been 1-0, it's as simple as that. That's a dreadful attempt at a finish in the end. Arsenal completely caught napping from the throw. Little layoff by Agali, and Umpenza made a complete hash of it.
This is Henry. Wiltor sent it the wrong way. Carlo went left. Vermont. And Umpenza! Keown was struggling to get across. And Arsenal are starting very shakily.
Well, that's that electrifying pace for you. I mean, Arsenal knew that before the game, and that's a couple of times now. Umpenza should have done better. Agali was calling for it centrally. I thought it was there to shoot, and again, he made a mess of it.
Henry. Van Bronckhorst!
That was a wonderful attempt. Right foot as well. Not what you expect from him. Good ball in from Perez, lovely flick up by Henry. When you take it early, you've got that element of surprise. Keeper might have struggled as well. Good effort.
Look at the space for Van Hoogdalen. Cross too deep from Penza. Miller retrieving. Burma. Signs of that injury hindering him at all. And Umpenza! That's a hat-trick of chances. He looked across at the linesman who kept his flag down. It would have counted.
I didn't think he was offside when I looked at it first off, I must admit. I thought it was great skill by Vermont to flick him through, and he was onside.
The strength of the Arsenal squad has really been tested by these injuries. There are one or two unfamiliar faces in reserve tonight. Igor Stepanov's amongst those on the bench. Perez couldn't retain it. Here's Vermont. And now Agali! Straight at Seaman, fortunately for Arsenal.
Well, all the incisive football is coming from the Germans. That was lovely play again, and it's a poor attempt again. I have to call it like that because it's straight at David Seaman.
Keown. Perez. This is where Van Bronckhorst is happier coming forward. It's a good ball as well. Henry, Wiltor unmarked. And Valdok was in the way. And Haito with some nifty footwork and great presence of mind.
Well, that was just beautifully crafted. I wanted to see Henry be a little more selfish. I thought he could have gone himself.
Perez, Wiltor, Parla, two ahead of him. One is Henry. And Hoogdalen across. 2 up in support. Henry! right to go it alone? Should he have passed?
Well, I said that earlier on. I thought he should have gone it alone. I mean, really what he needed was a little curler into the far corner, but lovely football by Arsenal. And once he got in this position, I think once he knew he could get it back on his right side, yeah, I think he's right to have a pop. If he gets a little bit of a bend on it, he might just squeeze it inside the post. But it was great skill initially. It just bent the other way finally.
5 wins, 2 draws, no defeats in the Champions League at home last season. Ljungberg, Parlour right, space opening up, deflected shot! Goal for Arsenal! Not what he intended, but Freddie Ljungberg won't care a jot.
Well, it's incredible, and it's come off Baldock as well, with the mask on. He hasn't put a foot wrong tonight. A lot of space open up in front of him. But, you know, even when he went and hit it in the end, I didn't even think he looked comfortable on his left foot. And it's hit Baldock on the leg. Keeper can do absolutely nothing about it. He's committed to his right, can't adjust his feet, get back. And it's a real stroke of luck to assist Arsenal on their way.
Seaman has come out in crazy fashion, and here's Umpenza. Keown rescues him. Müller. Seaman felt he had to come out. Defensive cover was thin on the ground. And Ljungberg at the other end, behind for a corner.
Well, another inquest will start, I'm sure, because again, you know, who's shouting? Who's telling who? Who's picking up who? All over the place. Not clever.
Baldock up for this. And getting his head to it now. Was that a handball by Keown? His arm was up in the air, the ball was close to it. The referee was not interested. There were 1 or 2 questions asked of Claude Colombo.
I'm inclined to say ball to arm. I mean, we've seen them given, but I don't think Martin Keown's intentional. And you know I was going to say that, didn't you?
Once a defender.
Exactly.
Van Bronckhorst. Wiltor. Van Bronckhorst is in. Open ground ahead of him. Oh, Henry. It's 2. In as many minutes. Palpable relief around Highbury. And the previously miserable Arsenal manager off his seat in delight.
Well, I think Arsenal were guilty of it early on, not making tackles in midfield. And look at Vermaat's attempt to try and get back at Van Bronckhorst. Poor. I thought they were going to try and walk it into the net. He had Wiltord and Ljungberg outside him, but Henry, majestic, very, very composed. Emil Umpenza could learn a thing or two, I should say, from that type of finishing. Superb.
Müller. Vermaat. Good cross. Dealt with by Grimandi, with Umpenza right behind him.
I don't think Perez is doing a good job in trying to get back and track Vermaat. I mean, if they're going to give him this much room, then Schalke have got to use Vermaat more. Okay, he should be beating the man on the front post, but danger.
Half-time approaching. Burma's kick. Andy Müller around Van Bronckhorst, and the cross held up for Agali, and Van Hoogdalen! That'll set the jitters going again.
Well, it's that right side again. I mean, just talking about Müller before and not being the influence we would have expected. I thought Agali was actually pulled back. It doesn't matter in the end because it was as sweet as you like from Van Hoogdalen. As soon as it dropped, completely free. Again, the marking's poor.
Referee, Monsieur Colombo, has consulted his watch and draws this first half, a curate's egg of a first half in truth, to a conclusion. Freddie Ljungberg putting Arsenal into a lead after a tetchy first half hour. Thierry Henry doubling that advantage thanks to a deflection, and Van Hoogdalen pulling one back for Schalke towards the end of the half. 2-1 at half-time in Arsenal's favour here at Highbury. The onus on Arsenal as the home side to make the running in this second half. Dangerous just to hold on to what they have, which is a narrow, precarious lead. Here's Parlour. No changes to either side at half-time. Henry. And here's Vieira, who's in. Down he goes, and the referee says penalty kick. Oliver Reck, the veteran German goalkeeper, penalised for bringing down Patrick Vieira.
I must admit, it was great composure by Vieira, but I thought Vieira was looking for it more than the keeper was trying to take him. I think Vieira is trying to leave his leg, but to a referee trying to keep up with play, get behind it, it looks as if the goalkeeper just pulls him down. But I think Vieira was looking for that a little bit more than Reck was actually trying to take him.
Thierry Henry couldn't wait to put the ball on the spot, and that's why, because he knew he was going to score. And Arsenal have daylight between themselves and Schalke. The two-goal cushion re-established.
Well, it was so easy, but decisive. Made his mind up, picked his spot, keeper wrong way, and a good finish.
He's missed one or two, Thierry Henry, and Arsenal have missed 5 of their last 12 from the spot. And Penza. Older of the two footballing brothers. Here's a Gali offside. He can stop now.
Well, it's pretty clear. Well, I don't think we needed that. He looked well off when it was played, and indeed he was.
There's Huub Stevens, the former Dutch international who's been in charge of Schalke for the same length of time that Arsene Wenger has controlled Arsenal. Very impressive roll of honour. UEFA Cup winners in 1997, a penalty shootout victory over Inter Milan. Quarter-finalists in the UEFA Cup the next year. 3 top 5 finishes in the last 6 seasons in the Bundesliga. And now a first ever place in the Champions League. Haito. Met by the broad forehead of Vieira. Back with the pole, Haito. And Umpenza! Schalke are back in it once again. Emil Umpenza was the only one to react to the cross.
I don't think I've ever seen such an erratic Arsenal performance. I mean, again, Martin Keown seems to have him. Now he doesn't. And he's just got a nice little flick on it. David Seaman gets a hand to it, gets something on it, can't keep it out, but it's just dreadful, dreadful marking. It's as simple as that. Makeshift defence or not, this is basic things. You just got to pick people up, and Arsenal haven't again.
And now Henry has gone down, and it's a yellow card for Haito. And Haito's furious. He thinks that Henry took a dive. It's becoming a recurrent theme. First booking of the evening for Haito, and his foul on Henry.
Well, he's pulling at him from very, very deep. Tell you what, you know, another referee might flash red at that, because if he doesn't do that and Henry's through, it's a chance on goal. Haito fortunate.
Nor did the referee book the goalkeeper for bringing down Vieira for the penalty. Pires has taken more of an interest in this free kick. Henry has been sent away. Van Bronckhorst has retreated. The right of Pires, the left of Van Bronckhorst. Arguments led by Andy Müller as to the constitution of the German war. Arsenal need a goal. It's Van Bronckhorst, and it is Wiltord, and Keown miskicked. Wiltord again with an even worse miskick.
Well, I don't know whether Ljungberg put him off, because it was a great save by Reck in the end, but Wiltord should have buried it. Should have buried it. Great pace, ferocious shot by Van Bronckhorst. Keeper couldn't have seen it until late, and he just didn't get enough on it. Maybe Ljungberg was slightly in his way, but that should have been 4.
Haito. Out of Campos. Vieira lost it out of Camphouse. And off the bar! Here's Burma, Asamoah ruining his luck. It was an instinctive effort. Just thrust out his right boot, and Seaman was beaten.
Well, it was clever. I mean, he knew he was being closed down by Ray Parlour, had to get something on it. And another let-off for Arsenal, yet another.
Oh, Van Bronckhorst didn't really look. Vieira wasn't ready. It's a Gali. Umpenza's up with him, and Djordjevic. Lack of communication.
Well, it was. I mean, again, he's apologised, but he's not even looked. He's just hoping that Vieira's going to be there. It's a blind pass, straight into a Gali's path. And in the end, left side, I didn't really think he hit it with the greatest conviction in the world, always underneath.
Vieira, it'll fall for a Gali. And the block was a stout one from Grimandi. It's a very direct route being chosen, unsurprisingly, by Schalke. It's one that Arsenal normally would soak up quite happily if Campbell and Adams were there, but Keown and Grimandi. And the goalkeeper has arrived for this. It's all or nothing now. On by Van Kerkhoven, out by Inamoto. The shot from Djordjevic. And it's a long way back now for Oliver Reck. Haito has just kicked the ball as high and as far as he can. Asamoah, Agali, here's Djordjevic, danger here for Arsenal. And it's kicked clear by Van Bronckhorst. Bergkamp, runners right and left. Inamoto, Parlour steaming through the middle. Chance for Arsenal to finish it. Inamoto had a rush of blood to the head. But it won't matter, because the final whistle heralds Arsenal's opening victory in the Champions League. They've turned things round after an initial defeat at Mallorca in just the way that they needed to. The performance wasn't all it might have been, but the result for Arsene Wenger, Thierry Henry and company is all that really matters. Ljungberg also on the score sheet. Emil Umpenza scoring on an hour to bring it back to 3-2. And then there were plenty of anxious moments with Asamoah hitting the face of the crossbar. But Keown and Grimandi, the makeshift centre-back pairing, despite plenty of alarms, held firm. Asamoah was inches away from making it 3-3. Arsenal will claim that they deserved the win. Schalke will say that they deserved at least a draw. But in the record books, it will say Arsenal 3, Schalke 2, and Arsenal are back on track in this year's Champions League.
Yes, Arsenal just getting the reaction from Highbury Dave Beckett, first with birthday boy David Seaman.
David, happy birthday to you, but it wasn't much of a party out there.
No, it certainly wasn't, but the lads have battled on brilliantly, you know, and given me a very nice birthday present.
How difficult has it been with all the defensive problems in the build-up to this game for this whole back unit?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but the players that have come in have done fantastic. You know, they're not a bad side. You know, they only just got picked for the title last year. You know, so you've got to give them some credit, but the lads defended brilliantly.
I believe that our group is very strong, and listen, Schalke finished last year 1 minute away from winning the championship in Germany, and with Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich won the European Cup. So I believe that tonight we made a great step forward, because we had to win tonight, and that's never easy when you're under such a pressure.
It was kind of very close game, but at the end of the day, you know, Man United were lucky yesterday. I don't know the game about Liverpool, but Arsenal, we were a bit lucky today, but at the end of the day we managed to. That's the thing as well. Sometimes, you know, you cannot all the time win an easy game. You know, it was kind of difficult for us, and we went through it. That means we can go maybe further than that. But you know, we have to keep quiet and try to work together to get something at Panathinaikos.
Well, it will get better without doubt. You know, we've just we got into this competition. It takes time, and by the end of it, we were playing for real.
You can never do a perfect game. Always something missing. Even when you win easy, always something missing. And it was a lot of things missing today, but at the end of the day, we have the 3 points. That's the most important thing.
Andy, Robbie, an easy, uncomplicated win for Arsenal.
You wish.
You wish.
I'm afraid it was one of those days when Arsenal were a little bit all over the place, very erratic, but to their credit, didn't play well, but have got the result, and that's, as Manchester United showed last night, an important part of the game.
It was such an amazing start to the game, almost a crazy start. And Penza had 3 chances himself. There were 5 in all.
Well, they were very, very fortunate. They weren't together, and certainly Van Bronckhorst there, you can see he's not in a familiar position there at left back. Really not a defender's head on tonight. Well out of position there. And Penza getting in behind him, and really could have tested David Seaman a bit more with that one. Again, they had good possession here, Schalke. Look at Van Bronckhorst there, you'll see him. Ball watching a little bit. He should now be covering round, should be sensing danger. He doesn't. If Penza squares that, that's a goal. No danger. And again here, not a defender. It's very difficult when you're out, when you're playing in a foreign position. It's not easy, but look, he's playing everybody onside. And again, and Penza could have scored. So, yeah, they really won at the races to start with.
No, Robbie, Arsenal needed a goal, but there was an element of luck even about the opener. Not the second one, but certainly their opening goal.
Certainly in the first goal, but Freddie Ljungberg, who's been a driving force for them of late, not always one who gets the headlines, but he drove forward. Not the greatest shot he's ever going to hit, or catches buildup, I think. Just goes between his legs, and then it's him. But the second goal was excellent, and this is Van Bronckhorst at his best. Lovely give and go. He's going to get forward, and what did surprise me here, Bob, is that once he's got there, he doesn't pull that left foot back and shoot. But he cleverly knocks it to Henry in a swivel turn, and clinical by the Frenchman.
Yeah, that was a class finish there. Schalke got back to 2-1 on the stroke of half-time, and then there was a dramatic second start to the second half. Guess what? Another penalty decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, Patrick Vieira's probably going to get criticised tomorrow in all the press for taking an easy... There's not a player on the planet that wouldn't have gone over in this situation. I think if you look here, it does look like he's waiting for the goalie to make contact with him there. He's dragging his legs a little bit, looking for the goalkeeper, looking for some contact. But that's the game, Bob. You're looking, you're looking to gain an advantage anywhere on the field. I don't think you can over-criticise Patrick Vieira there. I think he's driving into the box at speed, and if he commits the goalkeeper, you're looking for him to make contact.
But if I said to you, is that a dive or is that a genuine penalty?
Everyone's been doing that for years. That's been going on for years and years and years. That's not something that's just happened overnight.
Even in my day?
Even in your day. You've tripped a few up like that.
But maybe not when the game was so slow. Thierry Henry knocked away the spot quite comfortably.
As we'd expect, just steps up, man in confidence, already got a goal, and cleverly puts Arsenal 3-1 up, and you think, that's it now, maybe it's time to relax and enjoy our football.
And instead, they lived dangerously yet again.
They did. The back four was a new back four, first time they played together, and it did show at times, and more so in this second goal. Again, full-back position. Look at Lauren. He's got to be Martin Keown's insurance. He's got to be back so we can see the forward pulling off the back of Martin. Martin Keown won't be happy that he's got in so easy, but again, Lauren should be on his shoulder, making a contact there, and it made it very, very difficult for Arsenal after that.
Yeah, well, we had more nerves after that, didn't we, with Asamoah against the bar as well.
And again, he was a real handful. This guy is a very, very strong, and this looks like just a hopeful effort. I think if you see, though, he gets a nice foot on that, he's looped that over, it's almost deliberate over the goalkeeper, crashes onto the crossbar. It was a real hair-raising last few moments, but they managed to survive.
They'll probably go and win it now. OK, well.